Okay. Curt, Coach Collis on the podcast today. I want to say a special thank you. I appreciate you coming down here. And what's going on, Coach? How you doing?
Kyler, I am doing great. It's good to see you. Opened up that door and walked off the plane. I had never in my life felt heat and humidity and the stench. The odors were just overwhelming, and that's what I remember.
What was football like in the 60s?
What was football like? I did not have a leather helmet. I will tell you that. Football in those days was still a running game. You passed. Now this is high school. You passed more to surprise people. We had, I think, probably 4 or 5 pass plays. It was ground and pound. Generally a little bit more low scoring. Yeah, but it was still football, and it was still a lot of fun. But we never had water. We never had water on the field in practice or in games. Water made you weak. Honest to God. So you had, at the end of practice, at the beginning of practice, they gave you salt tablets. So the salt was supposed to help you retain the moisture in your body so you wouldn't sweat it off. Is there anything about football that is distinguishing to you?
Definitely. It's got to be the heart, and that's the quality that I'd say is it teaches you the durability to have heart, because there's going to be times that you're going to be on plays, but you have the heart to get back up and then try again your best with the same technique, the same form, but you know how to do it better this time. You learn each evaluation of each play. So I think heart is the one thing that taught me as a player that I want to bring into each asset of sports is that I'm tough in my heart, that each time you see me play, that whether I'm sick, I'm injured, I'm hurt, I'll be out there playing my best abilities every time. That's never questionable on that,
And it never was. I mean, there are very few players that played at your size and played at a position where guys are usually bigger. When I was your age, I was married and expecting kids and had all kinds of life experiences and stuff. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Great question. I promised myself that the whole 20s, I'm going to go out there and battle to my best abilities in the game of baseball to try to earn the right to put a minor league jersey on, whether it's the lowest form and work up. That's something I promised myself. I deserve that. I worked all these years, and once you're done playing, you can never go back. So you only get a little time of your life to ever go do it. What was the day like when you were drafted into the military?
Oh, well, actually mine was pretty simple. I went down to the draft board and said, here I am, put me on your list. And so I expected to be drafted.
What country during the war?
At the time, I had a lot of training, a lot of preparation to go to Vietnam. And was actually, anxious to use that training at the time. Smells were rotten, decaying vegetation, like strange food smells. It just, and you talk to most guys I've talked to friends and everything, and we all had that experience, the heat, the humidity, and the odor. So wherever our unit went, the families came along afterwards. So I ate Vietnamese food. We got some food from the 1st Division, which was an American unit. They had a base camp not too far from us, where we would trade stuff for food. I love the people, the Vietnamese people I worked with.
Person that you met along the way that was influential in your life, but he didn't have the opportunity to come back home?
Well, he's on the wall. His name is John Burford. He was a captain. When I went over, I was a second lieutenant. Second lieutenants are You know, they're the beginners, even though they're officers. I've been an enlisted man. I've been an E5. I went to OCS and went over there as a second lieutenant. And I was actually they were short officers, so I was actually in a captain's spot on my advisory team. So you can imagine I had no idea what I was doing as far as that. And John took me under his wing. I was pretty cocky when I first got over there. I thought I was, probably invincible. Actually, and John just really toned me down and really showed me how to be a military officer.
What's the biggest lesson that you learned in your time as a military man?
Oh, well, I think I really learned self-discipline. I think I became a better leader. As you get experienced. When I came back from Vietnam, I was the company command. I was a captain when I came. Well, I came back. I was a first lieutenant, but shortly thereafter, I was promoted to captain, and I became a company commander of a mechanized infantry company down at Fort Carson. So I had 150, 175 men, officers, NCOs, enlisted men I was responsible for.
Can you explain your experience as a Sunday school teacher?
Oh, yeah. My goodness. I taught Sunday school from 1983 to about 2015. And I just love sharing the gospel. I taught high school, Sunday school. I just loved sharing the gospel. Selfishly, I loved how much I had to get into the Word to teach the Word. And it kept me in my Bible, and it kept me sharp and on my toes, it was just another form of coaching, and I did that for a long time.